playing this game in Nashville. They're on Central Time, so just after 11 in the morning. It's obviously early by these guys' standards as Boston fires his first shot, and it doesn't go. These, and of course, the success that Helen had getting to the Final Fours when he was at UCLA. Top into a cutting Boston, the floater, no good, and BJ Boston off to a bumpy start. So this is about as big a body as he's had to deal with in Abdul Adu. Boston over 3 to start. Brought Brooks in, he brought Ware in, they brought Askew in. There was some confusion defensively on the assignments. How big of an issue is it when you're going so deep into your bullpen, if you will?
Yeah, it's tough. Your assistant coaches are...
Mintz was banged up during the week, a freaking injury rule where he came down on his ankle awkwardly. He's okay to play today as Boston knocked not on him. They have a height advantage with Jackson underneath. They don't elect to go there. Good ball movement. Boston high arcing 3 and it falls, and Kentucky a couple of weeks before they really had a chance to get to work with him. And it shows you since he arrived on campus and got into their basketball program just how far he has come. Look out, BJ Boston off to a great on the slam dunk side, knocks down the jump shot. Boston will launch again, and that one is way off. And boy, the fluidity that ties it up. Also into the game, Trey Hannibal for South Carolina. Isn't it about the way it always goes when you... Four assists, 2 turnovers to go with those 18 points. And a real danger spot for South Carolina with 14 and a half to go. They got to start making shots, and that'll help. TJ Mossberries have given that dedication, and they all are dedicated to the game. Their work ethic is not the issue.
No, I thought Cal was great last night talking to us. He said, whenever our season ends this year, I need guys walking.
Yeah, look at the bench, too, loving what Cameron Fletcher just did there. It is all Wildcats today. Getting set for an SEC tournament by one of the Gamecocks.
White, is having his way with Olivier Sarr. Scoring before he ever touches the basketball because he's winning the battle, Ravi, with the legs. This year, but next year's roster has to look different.
One of those guys they thought was going to be a lot better, Brandon Boston.
Moved the ball and got their middle rim runner right down the middle third of the floor.
Brandon Boston back in. He has it now, and he'll pull up for that jumper and throw an air ball up. For the boards, Keon Brooks has it, and Wildcats had a 3-on-2 at one point. Mintz slowed down. Here's Boston, wide open 3. Got it.
Yeah, Boston the last 3 games has struggled. Could have been a flop call on Schuler.
Boston flipped it up, doesn't go, but there's a...
Night, Ravi. 1 out of 7 from the 3-point line in SEC play, and he's knocked down a couple in this ball game.
Brandon Boston let fly around the rim and out. It's Schuler. Keon Brooks with 10. They get it to Sarr deep in the paint, and it's going to be Boston who launches. That's way off. He goes into
Kentucky. They're getting what they deserve in the ball game, Ravi. You cannot have that many just completely uncontested box-offs and putbacks by Ole Miss.
Let's ask you scores, Jimmy. It's back-to-back games for the point guard without a point.
Riding a bike should be a really fun experience. We make low-maintenance bicycles for everyday riders. We were coming off a great year, and when the pandemic hit, it just stopped. We really had to set a standard for retail moving forward.
Can we even afford this house?
I'm pretty sure we can.
Pretty sure. With Rocket Mortgage, you can be certain. Not pretty.
CBS News.
And no primary doctor copay. You get medical, dental, vision, and prescriptions all in one plan. Plus a team of doctors for your overall health. Learn more with our...
Here's Sensev. Hits it for 2. Castleton on the inside has to throw it up. He was off balance and just threw it right to Askew. Boston on the outside. Snatched the rebound by.
Other than the finish that time.
He was wide open. Pass might not have been where he wanted it.
It wasn't perfect, but it was still convertible.
Boston on the other end. Missed another 3. Brooks keeps it alive. Kentucky had led by 10. And now Florida back in front with a minute and a half to go in the half. Boston on the inside. Turns, spins, misses. DeRuggi will clear it off.
There's Noah Locke. He can lock it in from behind that arc. He's a 40% career three-point shooter.
That's his 45th of the year. Here's Boston on the other end. Rattle one out. And inside. And now he does get the ball back. He's been most of the offense for Kentucky today. Boston, again, a good first half. Quiet in the second until that one.
Well, that was a tough shot.
Defense by Tennessee to start. But keep in mind, as we touched on in the open, both of these teams in the last 3 games have scored over 80 points each per game.
Boston, he's been shooting with confidence of late. That one is in and out.
Court set in terms of everybody touching it.
Here's Toppin. Boston makes a cut, and he blows the layup.
Yeah, you got to finish that one. Good drive, though, by Boston. Quick.
He clears the rebound.
And it's pretty clear that Kentucky's going to outshoot them from the perimeter right now.
Boston, the pull-up. Wow. Everything is cooking right now for Kentucky.
Wow, this is the time Tennessee better make it.
On the crossover and pull-up. Quick jack doesn't go for Boston. Rebound knocked around, controlled by Mintz.
Yeah, good hands by Jackson. Here's an opportunity. Johnson. Whoa, stripped again.
Jacob Toppin with a steal. Toppin those long strides. Floated up. Layup goes, and it's Boston on the other end.
Now still.
38-24. Kentucky.
Kick. One dribble to the middle.
Boston in and out on a 3-ball.
Yeah, but they get the good look. That's a shot that Calipari.
Vescovi. Wow. Knocked out of there by Jackson. Boston has the angle. Takes it in for the flush.
How about Jackson setting that screen a little bit close to a moving screen, but he got
0 of 5 from the field. They have gotten to the free throw line. And a steal there from B.J. Boston. Boston, the Euro, denied. Keon Johnson with a block.
Well defended initially, too.
Missed it on the scoop to the hoop.
But you'll take that driving shot.
5-on-4. Boston, open look. No.
Wow, bodies are flying.
Off the ricochet, Brooks lays it in. 1 point.
Looking for more double teams. Tennessee, that's opening lanes.
Boston rejected by Pons. Coming up next, Pugilis. They should be playing a little after 3 o'clock. Third round coverage of the Genesis Invitational. That's coming up right after hoops here on CBS. 3-ball doesn't go for Boston. Another rebound there for Keon Brooks Jr.
That last block by Jackson, incidentally, the 53rd of the season. Number 1 in the Southeastern Conference. Boston lines up a 3 and knocks it down. It's just a different Stackhouse. Everybody knows about Pippen, but Dessou has become a really good weapon in this league. Second effort by Kentucky, off the mark by Boston.
Helps, and they try to recover, and they don't get there fast enough. You look to put it on the bounce and get to the rim.
Boston on an open tray, knocks down another.
Man, right? I mean, you know, on the top of the scout, he's on fire outside the 3-point line.
Another turnover. That's a half a dozen. And guess who's got the flush? It's Boston, who's putting together a high.
You know, I like that set, though, because you got to try to get Scottie Pippen going if you look stagnant on the offensive end.
Well, that was a heat check three there by Boston. Dessou. Wow. Again, another bad look. Kentucky's got the clamps on defensively. Boston on a three. Back iron. Rebound Commodore.
So they're going with a 2-2-1 here. Three-quarter court press. Looking to trap.
Boston slashing, left it short, tapped around. Jackson involved. Now back to Boston. No, tapped around again. And finally, 6-0 run by the Commodores. Nice quick hands by Brooks on the steal. Now the Wildcats off and running. Numbers for Big Blue. Boston Euro steps his way to another bucket.
Well, I think he sees the second level and the third so well. That's why he's second in the league in assists.
Some really good complementary players that Ole Miss has, and as you mentioned, the 1-3-1. It never goes to sleep. It always seems to bite teams at the right times.
Charted every one of Kentucky's possessions against Auburn, and here was the trend that I noticed. If you scored, Coach Cal went right back to you. Let's see if that's true right here, if he goes right back to Sarr.
It's done by half, a different half here in the second, shooting just 36%. Vanderbilt has cut the turnovers down. Dessou, yet another double-double against Big Blue. Jackson has been scorer. Scottie Pippen just 2 for 14 from the floor.
See, Dessou rejects the pass. Yeah, he rejects the screen, and the play was set up for him to go the other way. And
they have not played a game this season with their full complement of players. You talked about the youth. Sarr is one of the experienced ones. Kick out. Boston misses it from the outside and cleared.
No, for sure. And you look at the numbers sometimes, 4 possessions make a big difference in the numbers in terms of ranking. But Cal's going to try to get them scoring it, or at least looking to score a little quicker.
Boston
better, 38% from the three-point line, and also an offensive rebounder.
Boston with an ankle breaker. Can he step back and hit it? He can. A highlight. 38-32 Auburn. Spread it.
Look underneath. Good look.
They hedge on a double kick. Boston bottom. A three.
That's nice. That's a nice work there going on the left. Continues to do a nice job, Ian, of just staying back. Sometimes the guards will cheat and head towards the other end of the floor. He's helping out with the rebounds.
Boston the pull-up. Follow goes. Jackson was bumped.
Ken.
Mintz.
Nice look.
Cutter. Sarr wasn't expecting it. He saves it. Boston off the ball fake. Step back Jay. Got a three.
It might be time to talk things over if you're Auburn. Little matchup zone right now for Auburn. And once again, watch the middle of the floor sometimes if they seal right now.
The jump shot. Hot hand. Boston can't get it to drop. Rebound. Call going to the rim.
We got numbers.
5-on-4 here developing for Toppin. Give it up. Brooks on a kick. Boston a three. Bullseye.
So Kentucky comes out shooting. Finished that play off, Ian, because you noticed how Kentucky was the weak side, slid across the floor. He was double teamed. He knew he had to go with it, though.
Boston feeling it. B.J. Boston.
He goes Askew again with his hands defensively, triggering a defensive opportunity for Kentucky.
And another Auburn turnover. Oh, Boston. Wow, off the rim. There was no hesitation. Boston, California. A lot of responsibility being a point guard at Kentucky. He reclassified. Originally was in the 21 class. Boston, no, that was for 2. Rebound snatch.
6'10", being able to shoot the long ball like that.
And Jimmy's got a high release point, so it's going to be tough to block Thor's shot. Boston challenging, slam down on the follow. Keon Brooks Jr.
On Mintz, Olivier Sarr, Brandon Boston, and number 23, Isaiah Jackson, the shot-blocking machine. Boston's first three tonight. That finds the bottom. Good start for the Cats. Yeah, had Sarr for an easy alley-oop, Robbie, right? Yeah, he had him and he had Jackson, but Boston takes it to the rack. Do what you do. And that's what Vanover can do as well.
Boston pulls up. Boy, they are aggressive, and they're not taking a lot of time on the offensive end. Up Cameron Thomas, Cade Cunningham, all freshmen, averaging just over 16 a game. He's at 16-4. Boy, Boston just looks better, more confident. They're more confident tonight. He knocks down his second three.
Like asking you tonight, Bobby, as you watch a Kentucky team right now that's struggling, down on their confidence a little bit, what would you tell a performer that has kind of lost their confidence, or what have you told them in the past?
Williams missed a runner in the lane, and here comes Kentucky again. Keon Brooks back on the floor with Sarr and Boston and Toppin. Boston, no serve, Vanover denied him.
You turn around guy, when will they produce 10 points a game for me? And normally the answer is maybe year 2, probably year 3. And he said, then let's trade for somebody that's a veteran that can get us 10 right now. And that's kind of his fault.
Askew limited in the first half. Wondered if there was anything physically wrong. And according to the Kentucky information directors, there was not. He's available, and you see him in. You know what the pressure's like playing for Kentucky. It's boiling over a little bit here.
It's all there. Yeah, absolutely, it's there. From the fans to Cal to the players to.
And after a final at Rupp, you will get the game from Lubbock. Back to you.
All right, my guy Kevin Nagandi babysitting in the studio for LaFonso and Seth Greenberg tonight. Terrific host of the.
Have a tremendous future, and so does his partner back there, Mr. Springer. And he beat him once on a neutral in the SEC tournament down in Nashville. So there aren't many guys that can claim that against John Calipari.
B.J. Boston at first denied by Jaden Springer. Boston at the foul line. That's short. Gets his own miss. Can't connect, but Sarr cleans it up.
Yeah, he's all hanging around the basket. Do that. See that nice stroke?
Kentucky only averages 5.2 made threes per game, 318th in the country. They've already made 2 triples if Fulkerson's out, and Pons only has 2 points on 1 for 6 shooting.
They played so well together as a tandem against Kansas. The execution, they were so efficient.
Keon Brooks, and he will go to the line to try and put Kentucky back on top when we come back. Well, normally, this Tennessee team only allows about 58 points per game. They've already allowed 60.
Brand and a proven value. It's easy to love a Subaru.
Subaru Pacific, part of the LA Car Guy family of dealerships. Complimentary maintenance included.
Dinner with the Drakes. Tonight?
Body? Oh, yeah. Square that body to baseline, young guys. When you go to that lane, get that drop step over the kid's foot and boom, right to the basket.
Taking on Kentucky right here at Rupp. And then it's the matchup of the night in the Big 12. Number 17, West Virginia, squares off against number 13, Texas Tech in Lubbock.
Offense more spread and get guys playing simple basketball in terms of attacking the paint. Can they do it in this game? We shall see.
Offensive rebound, unable to be held by
point line.
Yeah, not a good three-point shooting team, really not a good outside shooting team. Tillman has been such a focal point of that offense. As Mint swings it to Boston, quick three, a little short. Well, the numbers certainly back you up. Their worst points per game since '85, their field goals since '63, and their three-point field goal percentage ever. They are 1 for 9 here to start the game. Disrupted, and here comes Davion Mintz back into the game. Neither team able to establish anything offensively. Boston got in the lane, missed it. Ware with the miss on the tip, so a couple of easy. Boston in the paint, fade away, high archer. That one drops for B.J. Boston. Is Boston and Ware playing catch. Boston launches. That's way too strong, and Parker Brown in traffic. That's contested. Jackson then deflects it away from Braun. They're running. There's Boston. Contested, but he knocks it in, and it's a 5-point game.
All the things that he has seen, heard, dealt with, that he shares with his players. It was a very impactful 10 minutes with Coach today, and I appreciate his brute honesty with us. There you go. You got you.
That's a goaltend on Tillman. Credit Keon Brooks with the basket. Credit Jackson with his 8th rebound tonight to go with those blocks. And perhaps Javon Pickett rolled
down a little layup. We had that game, and they were beating them to the basket for layups.
Yep.
So it's very difficult to defend them.
Boston aggressive, and that wasn't one of those little flip shots that Calipari.
Hard every day if they want to get playing time.
DJ Boston. That one's way too strong, and it's Herb Jones with a rebound.
See, that's most of their points on little drives, dump offs in the lane.
And who's making those passes? Herb Jones, 6 assists. Boston left hand blocked.
So tomorrow they play Miami. Leonard Hamilton's got a team that really gets after it defensively.
So Boston's been more aggressive with his drive. At that time, Juwan Gary blocked him at the rim.
If you're John Calipari, the way this game started, then he went to the zone a little while there. Bottom line is, you're going to lock room wide open. You look at the score. You got to be NCAA tournament multiple times as well. In fact, I believe he went to the Sweet 16 6 times, I believe is what he told me today. And he really loves Alabama. Each slide now. You wear that jersey that says Kentucky, man, in basketball, like Alabama in football. You got to play with some pride and passion.
Great pass, Shackelford. Isaiah Jackson there to deny.
Yeah, Jackson him better a couple of times on a high school level. He couldn't get off the bench, but he's had a lot of injuries, too. Early in his career at Kentucky. But he's a fan favorite. People love him because he's the local kid, and he can stroke Kentucky over the years, I'll tell you that.
No.
You know, I think in Alabama right now, maybe you come in a little bit too, high, reading all your clippings. And I'm not saying the kids, but you get a little.
Alabama 5-17.
That's high for Kentucky, 4 out of 10. But I'm going to tell you this. I think Kentucky's getting ready to see the second half of the year a different player in Boston. I think you're going to see the kid that...
Jackson had it. It's Brooks. And here comes Kentucky. Askew, Boston. That's in. Maybe Brandon Boston will carry the momentum.
League.
LSU will press a lot, which they did there, but Kentucky was able to get through it. Boston's 1 for 1. He's 2 for 2. Brandon Boston coming off his best game.
In this game. Kentucky not a great three-point shooting team, so when you press, you allow them to get some open looks, maybe get some confidence going early.
Boston thought he was feeling it. He made his first 2, but he missed that one, so Kentucky a couple... Brandon Boston, he's left open. He missed that shot, but Jimmy, you're right. The defense is closing out, but they're done. They miss it, but the battle won. And a turnover. Bad pass as Stays got caught underneath the hoop. Boston finger roll. No.
Yeah, who's scoring easier to start the second half? LSU or Kentucky? I'll answer the question. It's been LSU.
Boston foul and a basket. Aggressive take from Brandon Boston. First half, 6 points in 7 minutes. Mintz 1-on-1. He'll kick. Brandon Boston saw the paint. Into contact, and it's denied. 1-on-1, the 10.
I cannot wait to watch that fight. McGregor put it on him last time. All indications are McGregor's in the best shape of his life. I'm anxious to see it.
Big 3, Brandon Boston. Turnovers and over from the floor performance. Very supportive. 2 on the shot clock. Boston launches and didn't get it off.
Cal went to his chop
floor. So the 2-point guard operation, which worked really well, but LSU got out of that press that they used in the first half, and it didn't work at all. Oh, a flip shot does go in from Brandon Boston. 3 seconds for Brooks on the baseline. Tough shot, in and out. Oh, Brandon Boston have a game. He's got 16 now. LSU playing that defense where they're just running at shooters. There's Mintz with a ball fake. Boston wide open, just short. Offensive rebound put back up and in by...
Yeah, you're going to have to get a ball screen probably involved here. There it is, cross it up, dive out of the ball screen.
Boston short. And we'll keep it here. They may get a foul.
Yeah, use that clock. Everything's in Kentucky's favor, right? Everything's in Kentucky's favor right now.
Brandon Boston works himself open. High archer. Good help that time from Trendon. Watford will go the other way. going to have to launch another at the shot clock, and it is off. LSU gets it. Watford and Thomas have been great. No one else really has. Smart's 2 for 10 from the floor. Days was 2 for 6. And there is Boston again. He's been the best player on the floor for Kentucky tonight.
Shot, and I'm going to get one up.
Boston steps into a 3. That's way off. Not sure that's the shot for Calipari with a 17th one.
Game shots. I mean, you have to practice at game speed. The SEC comes at you long and athletic with long closeouts. You got to be able to create separation. And right there, that's a beautiful looking jump shot from the elbow.
And that's a good return to sender. Got it back. Good ball movement. Sets up a baseline jumper. Offensive rebound. Boston with the stick back.
So good on the weak side rebounding.
Is Andrew Garcia. Boston on a 3. Quick trigger. Barely hit the front iron.
Hurt some of their wings to the post to be able to score against taller players because they're strong.
Follow-up slam by Brandon Boston.
Wheeler on the floor. He just commands the entire offense for them.
Open 3. Another miss from behind the arc. Kentucky is 0 for 8.
Ovid, you don't have the time in the gym or the opportunity to do things off the floor that you typically would do. Therefore, not being able to build the kind of relationships you want, it's hard for coaches to be able to get them.
5 turnovers during that stretch. 7-point game, under 5 minutes to go, first half. This is Boston's best game. The pull-up mid-range, missed that one. Turnover that time on a crossover by Fagan. Sarr to Boston. Boston, there's downhill, and there's an easy bucket for Big Blue. Kentucky has missed all the shots from behind the arc, but starting to heat up with the mid-range game, particularly that young man. That is Boston again, who's got a game high. Out of Kentucky, B.J. Boston was in the gym until 2:10 in the morning, working on his game, saying, I'm still working at it. That hard work is paying off so far.
I think you can get that shot anytime in the possession. You might as well move the ball, reverse it, make the defense work.
And one counted for Boston, who might be enjoying ball turnovers record-wise, of course.
But you know what? They're not the only blue blood struggling this year, because North Carolina and Duke are not in the top 25 either, and it's the...
To the miss, down by 3. Here is Boston. Boston in the lane. Missed it. Follow no. How about Sarr? No. Coming up on 7 minutes left to go from Stegman Coliseum. Boston gets that one to go. It's his night. For a lot of fun. There will be a lot of... Very difficult to beat the rest of the year. Boston again, that time too strong, but an offensive rebound for...
Well, this is a year where you're going to have to be able to score. Forget about all that defense that people talk about. You're going to have to be able to fill it up. Keep the ball in the middle third. Look for Sarr to post up, shape up inside. That's an off-balance shot.
Desperation that time by Boston.
Seen a bit of a flat tire. Kentucky's on its 6th trip. They have yet to come up with a field goal. They'll set Boston up for a 3. He's off the mark.
We are on a 4 rebound per minute rate right now in this game. Not pretty, but entertaining.
It is entertaining. The ball was deflected at the rim. 3-on-2, 4-on-2. Boston.
Lean back jumper.
Yep. Long shots, leads along rebounds.
That 3-point shot by Cooper needs a lot of work. He's a small kid, and he's kind of gotten a habit of...
Brandon Boston finally got it going here as he went to the rack. Shoulder square, soft touch, 11-8.
If you care more
about the switch with Brooks, different guys and different coverages on 2 and white.
4, grab it in traffic. 3, jerseys around him, and what a look there from Cooper for the flush.
Making plays in the paint, drawing a crowd. and winning a lot of the collisions at the rim, especially for a guy that's 5'10". This time, he won the collision, gets him to the free throw stripe.
Both top 5.
Now that will be a defensive, there you go, Sar. Get out and run and put pressure on folks. You just got to make the one-footers, right?
It's huge. Mintz threw up an alley-oop. Ware went to get it, but he got it on the ground and then went back up with it.
Really good two-man middle ball screen game by Mintz that time. Mintz is really good.
The first 2 games were historic. 26, 9 assists. 28, 12 assists. Today he's got 7 and 5.
At all against Florida.
Herb Jones off to a fast start. He's got 8 points. Dante Allen looking to get on track. Boston sets up for a 3. No foul call as he ends up on the floor. And
now I want to beat you one-on-one. That was not a good shot right there. Bad shot.
Boston driving. Boy, he left himself with a tough shot. The follow-up from Brooks.
He can't escape the craving.
You don't consume me! I consume you!
Doubt about it. And as John Calipari explained today, they were devastated. They were crushed by it. You know, and perhaps some of what we're seeing tonight is a reflection of the impact that the Ben Jordan pass.
Having veteran players, people that really understand how to play. Too many kids come on the collegiate level, have no clue what a good shot is, have no clue how to play great team defense, and it really takes.
You know, obviously this is not his freshman year. He's back as a sophomore. I said, do you tell every one of those freshmen, if you come back, you're going to be a better player? And again, that
got no waves out there in Notre Dame, I can tell you that. But they just got them something great. Not a good, a great assistant, Mr. Freeman.
Boston pushes it up, hits Mintz. Oh, nice pass. We got to finish that.
Boston's second effort has it swatted away by Lewis.
Great defense. Push the ball up.
As Payne loses the handle and Kentucky looks to push the tempo.
Yes, they do. Great job of pushing the ball up the court. Ball reversal. Great shot from the perimeter by Boston.
Each small forward in college basketball. Now a steal by Boston. The other way, working on DeRougie. So I get the sense, as someone who's been on the sidelines himself, Danny, that coaches don't generally do that. There was a reason he did that.
Oh, absolutely there was a reason. Motivated to come out and find a way to get your team going. So getting out on the break. He's a do-everything type of player. And when he checks back in, I'll look for him to be a little bit more aggressive.
There's Boston off the glass, and it goes down. B.J. Boston's up.
Good matchup. Mintz being guarded by Pippen Jr. Here's B.J. Boston trying to reverse.
Well, he's really struggled offensively.
Scottie Pippen Jr. will have the mark. Tracked down by Davion Mintz in the corner for Kentucky. That was Stute, who's shooting 57% from deep. Here's B.J. Boston. 0 for 2 to start this game. Vanderbilt likes it. Well, as an example, there are more road wins than home wins. Boston off balance, had a block by Dessou. And that came at the end of the shot.
Coaches wanted a turnover there on Mintz. Referees didn't go for it.
Boston skips his way down the lane.
Now maybe that gets his confidence.
More than half now, 15 to 29. Boston probes, floats down the lane. Can't get it to fall. Here's Pippen leading the break. And Kentucky out of sorts on the offensive end.
Well, each guy is trying to just take it off the dribble, see how far they can get. There's no picks are set for guys to come off.
About a 12-second difference between the shot and game. Stolen away. Here's B.J. Boston. And he scoops it right past Pippen.
Shot the gap. Good steal against his Vandy team.
Cats came in averaging less than 67 points a game. Here's Pippen. Team effort. Somebody got a hand on that one. Here's Boston. Steps through and off the glass.
6-point floor for the Bulldogs.
Great addition for Ben Howland. Jalen Johnson, redshirt senior, started the last 3 ball games, double figures in every one of those games. So he's off to a good start to time.
Nice running tap in. That's Tolu Smith. In traffic, hanging and firing was Brandon Boston. That's what it looked like. Jackson got his hands on it. The SEC's leader in blocked shots picks up another steal. Stop and pop on the way. No. Good look at it for Boston.
Energy, sorry, Mike, that they'll do it on the defensive end. If you stand offensively against this Bulldog team, they will eat you alive.
Boston can't connect.
But he's 6'6", so he can see over the top. When he runs a pick and roll, he can really fire it inside on a good pass.
Boston, no. Offensive rebound. Follow, yes. Johnson has to do is just that, and he's going to be a huge help. Just hit threes. 8 points now for Johnson, the transfer from Louisiana.
And I think State's gotten some pretty good looks, Mike, against that zone defense. They've got good enough shooters, and when they get the good looks, if they're wide open against...
Loose ball picked up by Kentucky. It's Boston. Boston, step back baseline jumper, rattles off. 8 to shoot. Molinar going one-on-one, and Askew stole it away. Ahead to Mintz, 3-on-1, and Kentucky finishes. It's Boston on the bucket. Kentucky's defense. And no one's going to feel sorry for Kentucky. It's against another #1 recruiting class.
No, they're not.
But
good pass up front.
There's Boston on the stuff. Not all #1 recruiting classes are built.
And they got a chance to win this one. But every coach is going to say, okay, what do we have to do against Kentucky? Transition defense, right? Keep them off the glass. They're very active like they always are. And you've got to just keep guys in Barnes.
But I think Mississippi State and that second tier, more people are going to start talking about them.
And they'll only get better because of just the way it is. Molinar is matched up against Allen. They'll have to keep Allen from catching the ball.
Pressure situation. They go to Boston. Rims off. Offensive rebound and a foul on the...
And another turnover committed by Louisville.
Yeah, that'll drive coaches crazy. And these two coaches really concerned about the turnover situation.
That three well short by Brandon. One of them with a point in the first half for Kentucky. They're starting 4 and 5 men.
And they're only down 1, so that's a plus sign.
Boston with a long 2, won't stay down, and the rebound ripped down by... And now Johnson turns it over. So Kentucky's defense coming out flying here in the second half, and they're turning it into offense.
It's madness. They're not playing to get in the NIT. That's their goal this year. That's why this game is a must. They got to walk out here psychologically with a win. A loss here, 6 straight, really, I think is devastating. Improving. They keep saying that, he reclassified. What people fail to say, that's his normal class, because as an 8th grader, he was kept for the extra year to get a little bit more maturity. So really, when they said
points. But another foul, this one on Mintz. It's his 3rd, and Jones is back at the free throw line for Louisville.
Fitzpatrick trying to go 6-1. John Calipari trying to eliminate goal 1-6.
1 and 5, the worst start.
Seem to be in terms of shooting threes. I know Kentucky's not a good three-point shooting team, but something called a little magic, a little luck once in a while. Why take that chance? Let him throw it in, take a couple seconds off.
2-0 start for the Cats, but 2 early fouls as well. Mintz in the corner, 3 won't go, second chance. Boston, who picked up one of those fouls, gets his first bucket. The freshman Brandon Boston Jr. through contact. Czar keeps it alive, and now Mintz runs the Cats.
Nice look.
And Boston finishes it on. It's Mintz to Boston on the fly.
A great field by Mintz.
Askew, yeah, looked like he may have carried it. Got away with it. So now Brandon Boston Jr. attacking, rejected at the rim.
Thus far, Kentucky's really done a nice job balancing the floor. Give Czar a touch here.
That's Sheridan in the half court. Boston pulls up from the elbow, well short, follows his miss, and then Kessler called for. You can put that in your next rider, Bill.
A nice little defense here.
Second foul on Brooks, by the way. And now Boston off the miss, fight for it, won by Baycott.
Think of Booker running this as well. You mentioned the others.
Boston floater over Baycott, boarded by Sharp.
We're looking at the bench for a call right now. Empty side, one-on-one.
Boston off the bounce and floater. Wow.
They jumped on that left hand.
It away. I mean, it is a fight underneath the rim.
I don't know if Toppin had to jam that. I think he had a layup easily with the rim protecting him.
Boston step back to the foul from Playtag and one. And fouls impactful early. Even the first 30 seconds of this second half, we've had some big foul calls.
Boston taking over the point again. That's one of those things. Nobody got a touch. You can get that. They've really not been able to get any back cuts against this terrific denial defense.
7 to shoot. Boston floats over Playtag.
Tough shot.
Boarded by Brooks.
Balls
Sharp banging with Ware. Gets through, couldn't finish. Mintz, eyes up. Outlet to Boston. Cats on the run. Boston attacks and finishes off the look from Mintz.
Have a tough time catching the ball. You're going to be forced deep on the floor and the shot clock. Nice
Boston,
little curl.
Off the catch. Good screen from Jackson, but couldn't take advantage. So Donovan pumped the early hole. They've dug out. Lead the Cats by 5.
A little double stagger here.
Boston off the look from Mintz. That was a big one.
Yeah, sure was. They don't get back and find the guy stepping into his shot. Oh, nice little back cut. Boy, I like Mintz's game.
Boston misses the triple.
Kessler with the rebound. That should be it.
Kentucky.
All right, so it's a 7-1 run for Notre Dame after the early lead for Kentucky. Boston for 3, no good.
They had 3 to rim. Poise.
25-9.
Sarge got the angle, and they settle for the jumper.
So now he's trying to get his man off his feet. Shot clock down to 7. Good extra pass. Boston for 3, no good. And Sarr knocks it out of it. And there's the steal. Easy basket for Boston.
This sets up their pressure. I would extend the floor now if you're Kentucky. Hit the offensive glass. And one thing they're very good at, too, is rebounding and kicking out. Sarge got his guy buried, and that's enabled that to happen. Pretty good drive by Brandon Boston. Even that pass, it's not into the shooting area. Steps.
Tough shot for Boston, partially blocked by Leschewski. And a battle on most first half points for the Irish this year, 44-24. Boston trying to answer, cannot. Jacob
back here, Leschewski. Might be able to get a lob at some point.
Boston for the free throw line.
There you go.
I think that's that extra. The high man on that zone.
Get a good shot and an offensive rebound.
Here's Askew under the basket. Boston for 3, no good, and Leschewski with the rebound.
Last shot. Having vision and playing the passing lane. Negligent by Kentucky.
21 points now for Leschewski, 2 away from his career high. Boston tries the answer. I mean, it was an open shot.
Early drag screen, get to the rim now.
Boston for three. It's good. Brandon Boston has 11 points. Boston pulled his foot back for three. No good. Saar with the rebound.
They got away with it. Kentucky has to have one trip at a time. Get good looks.
Boston had a path at the beginning. Ball was blocked away. I think Durham got it. Boston goes up again. Doesn't get it to go. Leszewski with the board.
That's.
It's for Hub.
That's.
It's for Hub. The average is 22 and a half. Boston for three. It's good. Rattles it home. He's to keep.
Welcome everyone to Georgia. That's an air ball. Georgia Tech has been brutal from the field to start this one. And a three, and one drops. So that's the first three of the season for Branchera again.
You know, in the ACC, it was really us, Clemson, and Florida State. And so those guys, you know, Clemson and Florida State pitched me really tough. But
1-3-1 for Georgia Tech on defense.
The ball's got to get below the free throw line extended, and something good will happen.
Askew spins it across. There's a free ball. That one drops. Their goal was going to be to get the ball to Saar and Jackson, and they are 2 of 5 from the floor. Long effort from three, no good, and the loose ball goes. Vo frees himself up for a shot. He's been cold, right doing work, down low, turnover, and here comes Mintz. Boston steps into one, no good.
Today.
Mintz, three, high archer, no good. And a fight for the rebound, it's Kentucky's. Boston can't get it to go, and he rattles it in and out.
Up and impact the ball screen at all defensively. Georgia Tech guards are wired to score in those situations.
Harm's got a dozen now. Good defense and a good battle there for
Ravi. Should be a senior in high school.
Yep.
Right now, to me, just does not look ready for this big stage of Kentucky basketball that they play on.
Better ball movement there. That leads to a Boston 3.
6-1 for 7. Clark answered the bell today, but other guys have to start making shots if Kentucky's going to be a factor in the SEC. They look like a top 10 defense. They have made shot. The basket for Georgia Tech has gotten bigger and bigger, especially in the second half. And this is a Georgia Tech team. Remember now, they came back
potential last year, but he was inconsistent.
Drive and a runner left short by Boston, and Kentucky still scoreless as the Yep. With no fans in the stands, you can hear both coaches, especially Calipari, yelling out instructions to their team. Boy, and Kentucky's troubles from beyond the arc continue. Mintz did not play at all last year because of injuries, was the starter the 2 years prior to that. Follows up the miss on the free throw. He got the offensive rebound, and Brandon stands. The coaches, the assistant coaches, the players themselves. Boston with the drive. Off the glass and good. A nice runner by Brandon Boston Jr., who's out to a great start.
This year is going to be interior scoring. And that's what I'm going to miss Azamuke down in that box. Everything's going to have to come to the wings, to drive in, shoot some threes.
Well, Dick, they've got 5 perimeter guys in the game right now. And Kentucky, a team that doesn't have a lot of post offense, and their biggest guy, Saar, is not in the game right now. Boston with a drive, knocked away by Brown, and here come the Jayhawks. Desperately in the loss to Richmond as Bill Self and John Calipari both prowling the sideline in Indianapolis.
Also, they missed 13 free throws in that game as well, but 0 for 10 shooting.
9 right now. They led by double figures for a few minutes in the first half. Boston, corner, misses the 3, and Brown down with a rebound, and he's knocked down.
Loves what he does, and his passion is what makes him special. 24 players, points and a point. Wow. Calipari won.
They're giving Cal credit. 11 rebounds and 6 block shots. He averaged almost 8 blocks per game last year as a high school senior. Boston with a drive, absorbs a little contact, and puts Kentucky back.
Much player. Brad McCaffrey's got other parts of around him as well.
Including his sons.
Yep.
Boston with an 18-foot pull-up, too strong, kept alive. Scots of an arena, 20,000 seats, no fans. Watching a basketball game between Kansas and Kentucky. And of course the NCAA, Dan Gabbett, the senior vice president.
It's been a coming out party for Wilson. He's been a star of stars in this game, along with Jackson from Kentucky. Now good shot selection is important.
Yeah. Boy, there's a lot more dribbling than passing from Kentucky.
Coach team at Wake Forest did a tremendous job of developing Sarr.
A good look for Tyler Burton from beyond the arc, but he can't knock it down. That was Brandon Boston Jr. missing the shot. And then Wednesday against Morehead State, he's got the first 4 points here today against Richmond. And now a miss and a run out, and it is Boston slamming it home.
Yeah, there's that short clock basket. They scored within 3 seconds.
Shut down.
I think they were, and I think they're good enough to win a game, if not 2. And I know they're picked to win it this year. St. Louis, my gosh, you talk about grown men. They won last night against LSU. St. Louis, in my eyes, is the team in the 8.
Boston.
I love Burton. I think if they have a future pro, that's who it is. 3 in red.
Boston lost it, got it back, missed the shot. It's out of bounds to the Spiders. In the pool, this is a team to keep an eye on, a mid-major that figures to make a lot of noise this year.
There's Clark, the guard, posting up on that low block.
Boston, the 3, tipped out, and here comes Francis. Coast to coast, too strong off the glass, and again he's down, and again it's 5-on-4 for Kentucky. Boston scoops it up and in. How about that?
Yeah, he's wired to score 6-7.
Looking at the monitors, and we're like, something funny's going on here. It doesn't look like we're on the air, and we could never get on the air. It was just too cold.
I remember you asking the producer, are we on the air? And there was a pause, and no, we're not.
And he gives it right back. Good hands by Terrence Clark. Ahead of the pack, Boston. And he finishes over Golden.
That was a great job by Golden not to...
Evansville Bradley did.
Tough shot. Made it, but a tough shot.
If you're Richmond, you can live with it.
Absolutely, you can. By a guy that serves coffee in the offseason.
You know, it's one thing to keep an eye on with Kentucky. Incredible talent.
No.
That's because he made the last one, right?
Yeah, this is not AAU ball.
Watch, a huge key for Michigan State this year.
Yeah, that point guard spot for Michigan State is something to keep an eye on. You mentioned it before the ball game. We were talking that when the Foster Lawyer goes in, teams go right at him now. They try to punish that guy.
Offensive rebound, Golden.
Boy, for Richmond, put him in a clock right now.
And Burton with the air ball.
That was not putting Kentucky on clock defensively. Yeah. Burton bailed him for Boston and Clark. That hasn't really worked out. If Kentucky's going to fight their way back in, it's going to be on the shoulders of number 30 in white.
Coming up later on today, another good game. You can see it on ESPN2. Houston.
Ball again. Gives us some peace in our life. It does me.
Yeah.
Bam.
Me as well. You're headed to Louisville for a game Tuesday. The Champions Classic is Tuesday. Jimmy V doubleheader, which is great this year, is Wednesday. There's still 3.5 minutes to go, and Kentucky's got it into single digits.
It was a one-pass press last time by Kentucky. Will Kentucky stay in it longer this time, trying to create a turnover?
Do you like the aggressiveness, or given score and time, would you say, hey, let's run some clock?
You have to make Kentucky pay right now if they're going to come boy mentality, can play with anyone. And this Richmond team comes into Rupp Arena and just knocks Kentucky in the nose is what they've done.
Yep. Yeah, St. Louis beating LSU. Richmond 30 got a piece of it, but laying it in is Fletcher. And Kentucky keeps putting the ball in the basket, but they are still down by 10, just 15 seconds to go.
And long rebound battle for it. It'll be along the sideline and save, but onto the floor to Boston Jr. Boy, lots of contact there, and he throws it off the back of a Morehead State Eagle. And it'll be Kentucky football game in one of the most storied basketball programs in the history of college athletics.
Yeah, to me, that's just a lifted 2-3 zone that rotates into like a 4-around-1 zone.
Boston offensive rebound off the initial miss, and number 3 in white has the basket.
I like the zone move by Preston Spradlin, just making Kentucky feel a little uncomfortable and staying out of rhythm.
Step back jump shot by Boston off the front of the rim, and Morehead State championship in the SEC. Didn't seal it. Kentucky already had it, but he was really coming on out right now with a calf injury. Nice play by Brandon Boston to finish.
Look, freshman from Florida, 6'10", 235. Good shoulders, good strong butt, legs, ankles. Like, he's a good-looking athlete and just really a nice job on the slip.
That was a butt with 2 T's, correct? Clark now running the point. Did you hear the call, Jimmy? Vegas?
Vegas, yeah. And what does Brandon Boston do? He breaks off of the normal Vegas and took what the basketball game gave. Well, not perfect, but tell you what, they have also fought, and that was something Cal was concerned with this morning. Will we fight in this game? Nice job of working off the pin down.
Step back jump shot there. The long rebound along the baseline, number 22. Misses that in the rebound taken by Boston.
Good look, though. Good penetration by Cooper.
Boston long three-pointer on the way. Kentucky was 4 of 10 from three-point.
R5 body. It's interesting, Coach Calipari doubling the post right now. When I don't think he needs to. He might just be working on it defensively. With that short corner pin down, that guys like the coaches are socially distant the entire game. Morehead State actually has their players down on the baseline, which I like the rule this year by the NCAA saying you can extend your bench down and across the baseline to keep.
Morehead State with the absence of, nice pass on the back door and throwing it down. Nicely done by James Baker at 6'6", rising high to throw that one down.
I'd have to see it
against Notre Dame. That is really, really solid production. He's going to add an awful lot to this very young Kentucky team. I guess that's kind of redundant, if you will.
And I'm sure most head coaches across the country will buy in. This year, focus on coaching your team, because your schedule may change in 24 hours. Have your dudes ready to roll, and coach will in time.
You play the role of the coach. Which 5 are you putting on the floor for Kentucky if you were the coach?
Now with 11:45 to go and you're down 10, I would roll with Mintz, Allen, Brooks.
Much weight that comes with that, and Dante Allen has carried that weight. When they think you should be playing every minute and shooting every shot, and you're not getting the amount of run that they think you should, it can weigh on you. You got everybody.
To Mintz. Jacob Topping gets the start. Devin Askew didn't start the game, and he doesn't start the second half. That's Brooks' shot right there. Free throw line extended. Knocks it down for Keon Bro. Is there for A.J. Lawson.
That was as bad of a shot attempt as I may have seen in the SEC this year. We should have a column on the official stat sheet for bad shots taken. That, however...
Ware with the kick, and a rare sighting, but into the game for Kentucky. 21 is Cameron Fletcher. And this, of course, has been a year in which Fletcher... Boston, the penetration, nice play, and there's Isaiah Jackson.
And you call for the lob to the big.
He's got to make more shots and impact the game in other areas in addition to scoring the ball.
Michael, thanks so much for being with us. Look forward to seeing you at the SEC tournament. That's Mike Schmitz, our NBA. Schuler just dribbled himself into a turnover, and it's Boston. They got numbers. Toppin wanted the alley-oop, but he took it away from Sarr. He put his hand up and said, I'm here.
Ball, but moving their bodies with it, with some purpose to attack this zone.
See if Kentucky can regain their composure after the big lead. Brooks on the outside got it.
Nicely done.
But then Tennessee in the second half put together a bunch of runs to win the game and get back in it.
Mintz. He is lethal.
Boy.
Davion Mintz.
Alone has added value to creating space around the three-point line. Because now you got to bring some help when a 7-footer can run like he can and can post like he can.
Mintz on the business end.
In the first half, now he's finding ways to get his teammates involved. He's obviously a creative player. He has learned how to control the ground. His handle is so good. His read and feel for the
50 to 45.
And boy, when you see the ball go through the hoop, don't you look a little bit more confident at the offensive end?
Turnaround, Isaiah Jackson, and the foul. And it's not going to come there from Williams. Offensive rebound for Franklin. Giveaway.
Nice look.
Up ahead. Askew's got the angle, and he's got the layup.
This is an Auburn team that just can continue getting scores and build on the confidence.
Cooper lost it underneath. Break opportunity. Mintz. Oh, Mintz on a major rack attack.
Pushes wide open and a missed dunk on the other end from Justin Smith. Mintz the pull-up. That's good.
Well, and that's good, and that's when Kentucky let Jackson 6'11", Topham at 6'9" across the back. Good active
by
hands.
Mintz. Boston, there you go, the alley-oop, and Jackson throws it down with one hand.
Could you see him doing that in the team by the Final Four?
Nice roll. Great move. As Boston got beat on the offensive end by Justin Smith, who stands 6'7".
Where that lane really gets crowded early for Kentucky, doesn't it? Not only is it difficult to go by their guy, but a lot of times they're just driving it into a crowd because of their interior spacing is so tight.
Good game for, and then he ran out of bounds with it. And he had, if he looked, Davian Mintz just to his left. He couldn't see him or hear him. And out of bounds. Calipari thought he's got the starting lineup. And Olivier Sarr misses his first shot. Boston the rebound in the paint. Nice pass down low, and Sarr lays that up and in.
Yeah, really good look by Boston. I mean, just over the last 2 of 35 Alabama's threes came off of a non-paint touch possession. So think about that. They're just not dialed in, LSU was defensively, when you're giving up non-paint touch threes.
Dante.
Am I going to turn my loose and play faster when my turnover rate already is driving me crazy? But so far, Kentucky only 4 turnovers, and they're playing at a pretty quick pace.
Keon Brooks, the high-arcing three as the shot clock expires.
Yeah, I want to see Devin Askew pass the ball from the top of the floor and not dribble so much to help the rhythm of Kentucky's offense. And there's a good ISO right there on the block for a lift.
And employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Because it was a 1-on-2. Down by 13. Last couple of minutes really big here in this game. Boston
They're going to find Allen. He could shoot it. He could shoot it. They got to get him the rock, baby. He makes Mike Moore.
Job of getting rebounds, passing the basketball, and making his team better.
Here's Boston, drops it off to Brooks, who throws it down. Great teamwork.
Absolutely. Boston gets into the paint.
The officials, what do you think?
I'm not a fan of it. I think you can just pull those guys to the side and say, hey, listen, guys, let's clean it up. I think that's the same outcome.
A three rattles in again
from the East Coast. I know it is Gonzaga.
Yeah, that's right.
Here, of course, it's Gonzaga.
I did Gonzaga many, many years ago on TV, and the first thing they said was, we're the Zags. It's Zaga. 2 straight possessions, shot clock winding down.
And a steal. Leading the way. It's Ware on a 2-hand flush. Timeout, Mississippi State. A 2.
Ball to Slazinski. And a fresh possession now for the Cardinals.
Well, they're coming up with the 50-50 ball. And that always is a difference maker in a close game. Having a
catch. Clark. Back to Mintz. The grad transfer from Creighton. Boston covered up. Heels defending. Mintz has a three. Right over the top.
That's the guy. He is a cop.
That first was on Sarr. And now will fight for the rebound. Is won by Boston. Mintz, quick trigger.
Well,
Cats are coming out. Firing Bill.
That reminds me of him.
Chesky or Sanders?
Yeah. This little help. Back to that 2-3 zone.
Shots.
Maybe that'll raise. He could hit that floater and get in the lane. I'd like to see him do that man-to-man out of the timeout.
It beats Sarr. He's been the leading scorer for Kentucky. Faces up, gets the bucket to go. It's a 4-point game. And to look out at the scenery, too. Beautiful.
I love Clark's comments about it, too. The character. And he sees you look here. The guy is starting to play big time. Give him some touches.
With 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in a regulation. From Indianapolis
right
to the
now.
nightcap. Nice move by Sarr.
Using more of a drop coverage. Concerned about Kentucky's ability to drive the ball off the ball screen action.
Bam! And with the shot clock running down, Olivier Sarr with another bucket.
Yes.
Keep an eye on with Kentucky. Incredible talent.
No.
That's because he made the last one, right?
Yeah, this is not AAU ball.
Yeah. That was a better decision right there, and his buddy Terrence Clark jams it home.
The first half. Plenty of time left. Beautiful pass, but can't be finished down inside. You got to score side. You got to score that. Askew at the other end through contact, lays it up and in. Boy, was that quick.
Yeah, in 3 seconds. Because he released that.
Players in double figures, that's the kind of team he wants.
I hope that was a pass from Sarr. I think it was.
I think it was. Nice attack of the rim once again. Scoring it is Terrence Clark.
Well, he's doing what?
His second jump is just as high or even higher, Ravi, than his first jump because his instincts, man, they are always on point.
Boy, Boston,
I love that sound.
Gamecocks go down,
And they're hard to handle.
that's Matt Morrell. He's a 31% three-point shooter. They set that play up out of the break. Now lead at 15-11. Great pass.
He doesn't play for Kentucky.
Great pass, though. I mean, he was wide open.
Lead, then Florida went on a 8-0 run courtesy of some Kentucky turnovers. A 1-point game at the break. Kentucky up, and now Florida up by 1, and another turnover by the Wildcats.
Just a team the other night, so it's up and down a little bit for him. But watch him at the end of games. He will take a big shot.
An offensive foul called against Kentucky. B.J. Boston making that move.
Tennessee has been going up and down the floor, obviously, to play to that number.
Get it ahead.
Back court.
And turnover for Kentucky. Boston, Kentucky splitting the season series with Tennessee. And a travel called out front. 35.
Through the hands of Sarr, and there's Pippen on a steal. 8-point game. Nice. There's the foul. When did the foul occur? It occurred before the shooter, in this case it's Jackson with a tip, gets his hands on the ball. And Cal is pleading his case. You don't see that call very often.
4-point win, but North Carolina and Duke playing out the way North Carolina and Duke normally will. There's Ede Pons throwing one down for a Tennessee team that is coming off of a very disappointing.
Let's go Bucks! 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 Let's go Bucks!
Boston.
Take a look right there. Look at the numbers.
This is not a good sign. BJ ball 4 minutes. Dante Allen had a good look at a 3, and he didn't get it to go. And here's Bama with a chance to tie or pull ahead with a 3.
Well, Calibre told me yesterday, I want him to shoot the ball. If you don't shoot the ball, I'm going to think about it again.
3 years. In basketball, the more 5 stars you have, the more early departures you have.
And, you know, think about what Coach Cal has done every year in trying to blend all that talent and all those one-and-done.
As this game goes on. Part of the floor, point guard. And that's where you have to get him in this game if you're Bruce Pearl.
And you get rid of the lean back on the shot. My question was more pointed. How would you improve his shooting ability? A shooting team. And they took 17 of them in the first half and made only 2 of them.
Will look different on the other end. And we'll see if Kentucky can capitalize on it.
Open to the hole. Great jump off and an easy flush. Really good pass again. Cardwell, the benefactor. When fire away and bury that one.
With a good rise up by Mintz. Defense wasn't really in his airspace. Gave him a little bit of ability to see the rim.
Defense of Alabama.
They've been a rough start for Keon Brooks. He's not on the floor right now. He's 1 for 6. Davion Mintz is 2 for 8. There's a turnover.
Yeah, that's not an Apple turnover, and I love Apple turnovers, Carl.
Stop and pop, and a shot off the mark by Toppin, but an offensive rebound for the Wildcats. And offensive foul. Aggressive.
Starting your offense out here with 10 to go.
So now Mintz calling out the shot he walked.
That
When
is
Mintz passed you heard him say shot.
Right.
It's in take it, freshman.
It's a great trip defensively, though. Kentucky, a long way to go to get where they want to go.
Boston lost it out of bounds. I mean, Carolina has youth.
Easy goals. A lot of post screens, ball screens, dives to the rim, lock low.
Boston called for the traveling violation, so second turnover now for Kentucky.
Again, faulty shot selection.
Jacob Toppin, 0 in the game for the Wildcats.
There you go.
And a carry called against Boston, so that'll be the 6th turnover.
See, this takes away individual ability in so many cases, and that is a problem.
Yeah, Boston was trying to do 2 things at once and lost control of the basketball.
Welcome, everyone, to Georgia Tech, Kentucky. The State Farm on the miss. It's Askew, Boston, Clark, Olivier Sarr, and Isaiah Jackson. Sarr and Jackson, the 2 big fellas, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Boston.
And they kept it. The ball never hit the rim, did it not?
It didn't, and I think Teddy thought that it didn't hit the rim, and they said that's right, and then they gave.
Versatile player. He's more than just a shooter, Dan. He's a guy that can do many things for them. Handles the ball fairly well. He's aggressive defensively.
A turnover by Boston. Numbers for KU. He drives, can't finish. Fletcher has it. Here come the Wildcats. An opportunity to run. Boston right into the chest of Garrett, and he's called for the travel.
They were really up 4 at halftime. In the second half, Richmond took the game over.
Yeah. Richmond shot the ball very poorly in the first half. Once they started making shots, they took the lead. And you the ball down on the deck against these smaller Richmond guards out on the perimeter. They'll take it away from you. Nice little shake there by Boston, and an offensive foul is the call. Stepping in to take the charge, Tyler Burton. Friday night, and he's followed that up today, Jimmy, with 14 against Kentucky.
Yeah, and he's trying to KO Kentucky right now. His ability to drive the ball through a crowd has been very impressive to me. Now, that
early on, Jimmy, from Davon Cooper, the 6'4" redshirt junior who had to sit out last year because of injuries out of Louisville, Kentucky. And we are underway. Immediately attacked by Boston, but a turnover by Kentucky.
Holding, but none of the family or friends can go anywhere near the players. They have to be kept completely separate and away to protect the health of the team and their ability to play going forward.
Boston, wow, off the rim. There was no hesitation. Boston, all of his points have come from beyond the arc. Working it inside.
Swaggerful basketball team from Tuscaloosa.
Lane was open, perhaps some steps, but Javante Smart beats his man. That's good help. It's Boston.
I think changing defenses is really good. It makes an opponent change some things and at least think about some stuff. Another block.
Gotta go.
Love gets it back. 3 to shoot. Oh, nice spin. Boston rejection. So the Cats get it.
Counting the ball. Final 8 seconds of the quarter. Moore raising up, and he's blocked brilliantly. There was
one press coming from Coach Chevalier and the Trailblazers.
Harris's shot is blocked brilliantly by Boston. And suddenly it's 15 again. It's going to be tough for the Eagles in the final 2:45. The Boston. And Wanda looking for their offense. Pierce penetrates. Oh, that's Boston with terrific defense.
Goes long.
An 11-point lead early for Sierra Canyon. Everything is contested.
Able to keep it as Brooks. High arc or no good. They've had a bunch go in and out. That foul is going to be on the floor. Looks like it may go against Mississippi State. This year gave up 66 points involved in that play. Instead it was Ware, and as a result of the hustle from Ware, ball goes out of bounds. It's Kentucky's. TJ Moss has Mintz on him. 3-point attempt. Always fall against you. Sarr driving, dribbling too much.
I think he really understands the game. It's not a lack of understanding what Cal wants with this kid. And one of those transfers that came in
spot, and he is very confident on both ends of the floor. He's been their best defensive guard for Kentucky all year long. That's just a simple pin right there. That's not even a ball screen. Where it just gets pinned on the high side, and it's an easy over the top.
Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yep, beat South Carolina 101-73. Alabama a winner over Auburn 70-58. That time by Bufflin. He knocked it right off of Jackson's leg, and a turnover for Kentucky. And now an open three. Got it.
Thursday at 10/9 Central, or stream anytime on CBS. Florida in dire need of some offense. Stassel to clear it off.
Well, you can't get any better looks than that. Good attack that time by Kentucky.
Appleby, the kick out is the three from Lewis.
Challenge Kentucky. So far, it's not happening right now.
Smothering defense so far for Kentucky. Johnson, no.
We're hunting shots. Now they all look like the game is just flowing to them. They're not in a hurry to take a shot.
Has not gotten his fingerprints on this game yet. Ball fake, kick. Johnson to three.
Wow. Way off. Look at this lead. Nothing there.
Muscovy on the shake and bake. Needs a bailout. It's Springer. Lines it up. High arcing jumper. Doesn't go.
Body language and their energy is not very good right now to start the game.
Pippen, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Not quite the same type of game tonight, as he's 0 for 8 from the field.
But his demeanor, his body.
Do you like the timeout from Cal?
I do, because he wants to make sure it's clear that you don't want to foul somebody on a three. You're going to be switching on everything. You've been doing that all game anyway.
Have split the last 10 meetings. We mentioned the big one, 2019 NCAA tournament overtime win for Auburn in the Elite Eight.
Who can get better and better, because they all have played pretty well this season.
Auburn, a self-imposed postseason ban, so they will not be a part of the SEC tournament or the NCAA freshman. Continuity is such a big key. Jackson, the discard of Cooper. Outside jumper doesn't have come from beyond the arc. Working it inside. Cooper has it blocked. Retrieves it. Flanagan will try. Against him in the first meeting, they have scouted him perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, you just watch tendencies, and if you watch them long enough.
Birthday to him. Also, congratulations, Kentucky basketball director of communications, Eric Lindsay, and his wife Stephanie welcomed a baby girl into the world this week. Adeline, 68.5 points per game. They put up 75 today and lead by 4. Deep one, Flanagan.
I'm telling you, it's something different at a place like Kentucky, North Carolina, Kansas. There's just a few of them.
Right. Well, you can see those numbers we flashed up on the screen, too. That's more of
this game. Kentucky's going to be in position to win it, and we'll see what happens from there. Foster and how he goes about it with all the transfers. I thought he gave us a great comparison. He said when he was in the NBA, he would meet with his staff at the end. You don't find those at Walmart. You're from Arkansas, man. You're buying shoes at Walmart. You don't. Nope. Those are sweet.
And teach them. And he and John Calipari have a history as well, which ended very favorably. Ended really on a positive note relative to how it started, Jimmy. The way Calipari's had this thing rolling, they never lost 6 of 7.
No, this is all new for him. Everyone in that Kentucky program.
Shot clock down to 8. Wasting no time as Jay.
Play better defense. He's got to defend.
He only earned 7 minutes. And that lost him.
Here, there's an ISO that time for Isaiah Jackson. And what Calipari is trying to do is get his guys in position to beat that defender one-on shots. Part of the reason why they have a bad record.
It just sounds bad. You know, when you make a statement like that, it just sounds bad. That ankle of his.
Kentucky scored because of the throw-ahead pass from the guard to the corner. That's where the 2 points ultimately.
Perimeter play on a consistent basis. They have moments, but it's not consistent.
Right.
And this is, in fact, both of these schools, as Petty misses.
2 of 3 from three-point land, 4 of 8 overall, 11 points for Boston. Thomas, that's way off.
Don't let him go right.
Javonte Smart, plenty of time on the shot clock.
I'm not opposed to it. Can you sleep on it? A 3, quick trigger, barely hit the front iron. Boston has really struggled from behind the arc this.
It's unlike any Kentucky team, right? I mean, there hasn't been a team like this since the 20s. In a lot of ways that you could measure it.
Cohesion for all these young men who haven't really been able to enjoy normal college life. Desperate just swipes it away. A chance to tie with a 3. How about Johnson again?
Alley-oop you showed in your highlight package. He sort of threw and felt like the ball was going to get intercepted, and it just was over the outstretched fingers of the 2. Instead, starts it back with Askew. 45 on the game, 19 on the shot.
Toppin's a valuable guy in this game and had a great break. Throwing basketball. Mitch was really good with it on his play. Avoided the travel, kept the ball alive. Status of Herb Jones. Bruner is out. You don't want to fall 2 games behind Alabama the way they looked Tuesday night in rough. I wouldn't if I was.
The game of Mississippi State, unless he plays in that game, there is no substitute for guys that can make shots.
Petty. Oh! Deuce at the high screen. That frees up that mid-range 2 and it 1.
And that's rare to find a big. Just a quiet warrior for Mississippi State.
Within range, down 8 is Kentucky. Mississippi State's been outstanding from the floor because of this guy. Adu, one more time. That's easy.
3-point attempt, and that one is short, and Boston gets that long rebound.
They're hungry. Kind of sums up Arkansas.
The free agents.
With no monthly premium and no primary doctor copay, you get medical, dental, vision, and prescription.
Lord, a chance to cut it to 1 or tie it this trip.
And this is where you and that's good. Well, DeRougie missed that one.
About that, this morning I said, well, when you get to Nashville, anything can happen. Castleton on the outside, doesn't get the 3.
Haley looking to make it happen with a jumper off the rim. Long rebound to Boston.
You can get that any time in the shot clock. You don't want to.
Percentage on the season is 48. So that is going up, though. That's the trend there. So they're 3-1, or that you don't want to foul somebody on a 3. You're going to be switching on everything. You've been doing that all game anyway. You're setting up, making sure.
And off and a tick. There's Jackson, block number 1. He having a man over with a rebound. Tate pushes wide open, and a missed dunk on the other end from Justin.
Cal telling his guys and telling me today, he told them, hey, we got 7 games left. Let it go, man. Run, rip, let it go.
Tate no good from him.
Well, if he's going to be the point, he just needs to be a play starter. And that's pretty much what Kentucky's offense is. I mean, Askew's not a Moses Moody overall. Just that big, prototypical 6'6" wing that can flat out shoot it. Tough, put it on the floor a little bit. The threat is 23 driving that ball. And that gap's got to be closed off about a half step closer. I don't know what Askew said, but man, he said it with some personality and some conviction.
Yeah, they're only averaging 67.5 points a game. That's the lowest per game offensive average as Softer Bailey makes it a 4-point game. With 5.5 gone by here in the second half. Only the 3rd made 3 in 16.
Stat sheet helps you win ball games.
Other games in the SEC tonight, ESPNU for a good one, LSU and Alabama. Carolina and Florida.
So did the numbers now say in this game, adjust your defense going forward.
Good hands by Pinson on the steal. Then Keon Brooks comes back to pick up the blocks. Missed the 3 by a lot. One thing they've worked on with him is making sure his feet are set. That's Shackelford, a high archer. And he misses it.
Execution, though, they reversed the ball really well. At good movement.
Reese steps into a three, no good. They continue to struggle. Side can't get it to go. It ends up in the hands of Reese, and he loses it.
Somebody been telling me he's playing in Tuscaloosa. He shot that from Mobile, Alabama to win this game.
Quinterly, great pass to a cutting Ellis.
Yeah, that was a really tremendous look. Right?
56 to go. Kentucky 4 of 10. Alabama's 5 of 18. They shoot about 30 a game. They've taken 2 3-pointers.
See if it develops.
Watford the kick. 3 from Smart. That's off the iron, and a good defensive rebound, which is one of those been onto the floor as the baseline. Boy, he left his feet, found Days, and he can't make that an air ball. And they got numbers. 7 minutes in the first half. He picks up the foul here, so he's got 9 minutes played in the game and goes back to the bench.
Yeah, Kentucky wasted, I'm not going to say wasted, but it took them a while to get into their elbow series that time and ended up with a short clock because of it. That was
Continue to give that young man confidence as he leads the league in assists.
Oh, nice play off the inbounds, but just a missed layup that time. Georgia has not scored a field goal in over 4 minutes. Oh, great up and under move, but he can't finish. Everything but the bets to tie with a 3. How about Johnson again?
It is Boston. Not a Kentucky team that makes a high percentage of them. Allen's the guy that can stretch it.
Cooper, good look. He had
to just a little bit. The gaps are bigger. Kentucky much more difficult to defend.
Another miss for
We had 16 total rebounds in the first 4 minutes, so we are on a 4 rebound per minute rate right now in this game. Not even free throws. He is a 2-point part of the floor point guard, and that's where you have to get him in this game if you're Bruce Pearl.
And you get this. He's been off today. He'll still fire away and bury that one.
With a good rise up by
Potential. I think this kid is getting better and better every time I look at him. He's more confident in his game.
Herb Jones, long 3, no good.
Bob Nate Oates, I'm telling you that. He worked hard to get where he's at. He was 13 years at Romulus. Romulus has had some great players. Years ago, Terry Fed.
Boston went one-on-one, and he's able to knock that shot down. Saw Petty drain a 3. He's got 20.
Terrific box out by Omar Payne.
Look at the step back by Mann. Here's Mann. 2 to shoot. 3 on the way for DeRougie. No. And the first half comes to an end. DeRougie, who was such a active presence for the Gators in that first half. Baseline drive off the mark by Appleby.
Shoot the low. Half of their attempts today have been from behind the arc. Make it more than half now, 15 to 29. We can't play as individuals. It's got to be a team effort. Somebody got a hand on that one. Here's Boston.
Three rims out for Davis.
On Brooks. He clearly went over with no intention of fouling, and his arms came down on Bryant, and he was... Ole Miss, a little out of sorts on this trip down. Take it inside. Jack, the 1 seed, locked. 5-point game.
This isn't a big stretch. I'm just telling you, Alabama and Arkansas are the 2 teams that I think right now are going to...
All right, hard to beat, Jimmy. We got 10 minutes to go. We're tied 48-48. And Hunter
headed.
That one. Come on.
But he shot it like it was going to go in.
He sure did.
Melo White got hit hard.
Yeah, he's down on the...
Back come the Gators. Bring it into the front court with a 1-point lead.
Better attack that time by Kentucky. Either you or knock you down a peg at this time of year.
Trey Mann wisely picked up that loose ball as Appleby was worried about a double dribble.
Just its last 5 shots. Bailey on a cross. Foul called. Kentucky leads the
players look good right now, 13 for 14.
Springer for 2.
There you go in the middle of the paint. It's really the first. Puts them with 9 wins. That's not too shabby from where they started.
Jaden Springer.
But I think Dawn Staley's team is too balanced, and you know, I think Kentucky.
Yeah, it is. Kentucky player's hand kind of going from low to high. Oh, baby, that's going the other way, isn't it?
Flanagan off.
Division I teams. That's how good he is around that rim. 23 in white.
Is that like Tom Brady having more Super Bowl titles?
The tournament about halfway through this season. They were planning to make the tournament by winning the SEC tournament, and that's what's dangerous about them. I think they're doing the right.
Number 3 ball miss. Kentucky comes away with it. That was Tate. Arkansas cooling off a little.
Gets an opportunity to prove that he can play. He can take advantage of that time. Nice little triple threat position. I love the way he does that, Ponds.
Now you can see based on those numbers, anything that Kentucky gets from behind the arc is almost gravy. Deion Johnson, ACC selection for Wake Forest. And here he is again through a triple team. Stripped away by Vescovi.
Best resale value brand, 2020 lowest 5-year cost to own brand, and most trusted brand for 6 consecutive years.
He wants to be a financial advisor one of these days when basketball is over for him, but he 12 in white, is a 10 out of 10 in terms of a team.
And Parker Brown in traffic picks up the rebound. Pinson right by Boston.
28% three-point shooting that they've been all year. That you stay tight and make sure you take away the airspace and make them earn those looks.
Tough shot.
What about Sexton as well?
Yeah. Petty deep into the paint, left hand, that misses, so Petty off.
Open looks. They got to get him some open looks. You got to screen for him, get him some open looks. He has a chance the ball's going to go in.
Petty did that.
Containing the 3 ball. Got to really contest the 3 shot. They can make him tough ones, not easy ones.
Herb Jones, the defense by Mintz, as he stood up primo.
They're challenging him right now. They're staying. They went right by him, though.
Swaggerful basketball team from Tuscaloosa.
Lane was open, perhaps some steps, but he got away with it. Sarr had it, lost it, and it's Smart who comes up with it. Watford into the paint. That's no good. 3.
And he certainly wasn't pleased with that one. Going to his left, taking a guarded 3. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Javante Smart beats his man. That's good help. It's Boston.
That's a really good ATO after timeout by Coach Cal. He gets the ball in the middle third and a nice finish.
Good strong take to the basket. Typical 7-footer. Part of his game that excelled last year at Wake Forest. 3rd team All-ACC performer. It's hard to take a charge against your teammate. Tough shot. Georgia looks like they're going to play for the final shot. Wheeler with 5. Wheeler all the way. Rejected out of bounds with 3.
Board for Auburn.
Gravy, at the first media timeout, we had 16 total rebounds in the first 4 minutes, so we are on a 4-rebound Kentucky's entire team defense. I mean, there's 2 things in transition you have to do. You have to know and stop the ball, and you have to tag with a fit.
Aggressive, and that's just what Jimmy, when you watch him play, right? Isn't that there for him if he wants it?
Yes, it is.
Seen a little bit different Olivier Sarr in the second half than we've seen for much of the season. Points in the paint.
Yeah, because Nick Saban's in another world. Anytime you win 7 national championships, then he's certainly up there. Oh, look at this. Breakdown defensive. $68-50.
Minutes to go. Third option was the trap.
Here's DeRougie. Man knifing his way to the basket.
Or can shoot it. Now they've got to find him and get him his confidence going.
Pippen over Boston. Rebounded by Sarr. Right. Trying to shake Boston. That was too easy.
Well, he's had a terrific.
Played the NCAA tournament a couple times. There's a foul on Boston. Here's Wright on Boston. Nice spin move. Wow. Beautiful move and one.
Physical, strong, are very athletic. Now, they'll run into some teams that may shoot the heck out of them. When they lost to Liberty, I mean, nobody wants to play Richie McKay's team. He's the one that has brought this team back, as in Kentucky. Stewart, left-handed, loves to go left.
The zone. With 7 to shoot, now 5 to shoot. Love looking for help. Love drives on Boston through the zone. And one. Oh.
Again, Kentucky chasing that ball. Can they still allow it to turn the corner? Turn the corner, bad things happen. Adu has owned this game. Grown man stretches you out in terms of your conversion defense because he's a threat to pull up from about 23, much like Davion Mintz. And Kentucky that come for. Now you trade one shooter for another. But Dante Allen with 20 points in this ball game, that's as many as he.
That's a walk. Trayvon Mice come. Look out. B.J. Boston off to a great start. He's got 8, 3 of 3. Winning the race down the floor. One of 4 shooting of the Kentucky big men. You hear him yelling, watch that hook. Buffin in traffic. He's surrounded by blue shirt.
To me, that's kind of who he is. He's going to lose the push and shove match around the rim, and he can jump up and make some perimeter shots for you.
Fly by on Isaiah
GC's coming out of that league. Boy, fight it right now to get open. Made the second half. Good job. Yeah, really well done by Ole Miss.
Here's Wright working on Boston. Drive and kick. Evans in the trees. Gets it off the... Half a dozen blocks for the Wildcats so far. Strong take and a reverse layup is good.
Now that's a good number for Coach Cal's team if they can stay aggressive on the glass. But that's not a good
of Kentucky season.
Yeah, and you just have to, if you're Kentucky, you just got to keep battling away. And this is where not having 20,000 fans would be nice to have them help you.
Good kick, Flanagan.
Stepping away, just giving him that shot a little bit. Now look for the drive.
Shot clock winding down. Flanagan, the floater.
Now all of a sudden they're dragging the ball to the middle of the floor, driving it to the ball, and then kicking it out. Much easier way to shoot the basketball.
12-2 Boston. Wow, off the rim. There was no hesitation. Boston, all of his points have come from beyond the arc. Working it inside.
Play for Kentucky.
Yeah, that's the amazing part. Askew is forced to shoot it on a busted play, and he connects. Foul called. As
good deflection on the hands to throw the offense off, and there's a steal.
Mintz turns it over. Flanagan, straight line to the rim.
Towards the basket. Don't settle for a bad shot here. If you can get a quick one going through the hoop, take it.
Taking time though. 15 seconds. Cooper inside. Reverse
in. I love the start by Isaiah Jackson. The energy level. A guy that you don't run a play for, you say go do what you do, and that's what Vanover can do as well.
And a run out ahead of the field. Boston now 1 on 3. Got banged and he still makes the bucket. No foul.
It's 10 or 12 years into your broadcasting career. So John Fulkerson, a Wooden Award mid-season top 25 edition in Santiago.
You were kind. That was a boulder.
Vescovi is fouled by Mitt.
Good job by Calipari to kind of lift B.J. Boston in that half-court set and get him the ball on the move.
Tillman spun the shovel away. The hole is big enough. You've dug a big hole. Speed, look out. Oh, pinch points. Only 1 turnover, 3 assists. Keon Brooks did it himself, and that wasn't wise. It was 1 on 3.
That was a bad shot. Bad play by the Ducks.
And here's Boston, who'll kick it to Mintz. He drives, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Back-to-back empty trips for Kentucky.
But Mintz monitor in a positive manner. Hey, what about my Bucks there, Carl, huh? Go to the Super Bowl, baby? Inexcusable. I think that was the stupidest mistake in that game, not going for the touchdown. I really believe.
Swaggerful basketball team from Tuscaloosa.
Lane was open, perhaps some steps, but
Kentucky there. Think about this, Ravi. Out of the 10 teams ranked in this week's AP poll, the top 10, 45 of the 50.
Javante Smart feeds his man. That's good help. It's Boston.
If you go back to the end of the first half, it's a 14-4 run for Kentucky. Wheeler,
you got to switch on everything.
Comes in, bobbled, up and in with 1 point.
Let him simmer.
If you care more about
point shooting team, that's one of the areas that they've been up and down on. They've been a little improved over the last couple games.
Petty lost it, a turnover. Keon.
Lots of time over at practice. Coach Saban was terrific to him. This year, because of the pandemic, not as much. But he said really he went.
Had to go. Toppin picks it up. He'll go in, lay it up and in, and a foul.
Tell you one thing I love about him. Plays with great tenacity. Plays hard.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. Good feed by Castleton, and you called for it. DeRougie, no set maker for this team.
It sure is, because he can score the basketball, he rebounds, he's a good playmaker for his size, and he's very unselfish.
They only played 6 non-conference games. Obviously, everybody's schedule limited and disrupted. That was
scoring is low. They haven't been able to get over a good number.
Pippen all the way down the paint, and he gets it to go.
Bruton. Plenty of them from that spot in the state of Georgia.
Wildcats go to man-to-man. Great set play by the Bulls.
Remember, this game is absolutely a must for Kentucky. They got to play their hearts out. Jimmy Dykes was telling me during timeout, during the halftime, so they're going to pressure you, they're going to pack it in, make it tough for you to drive. Oh, that's a sloppy turnover. No reason for that turnover.
Ask you get that one. Come on.
But he shot it like it was going to go in. He sure did. And Miller White got hit hard.
Yeah, he's down on the standout defense, which has been the best in the SEC.
And now they're flattening out this defense, forcing you to go over the top.
Johnson on the court.
Tournament about halfway through this season. They were playing to make the tournament by winning the SEC tournament, and that's what's dangerous about them. I think they're doing the right.
Ponds, they played together on the French national team, and also when you look at both guys, they played against each other in high school in France. So
terrific pace to this game so far, though. End-to-end action. Both teams are attacking the basket, and Johnson tries to do it again. And there's a big triple for Tennessee. Victor Bailey makes it a 4-point game. With 5.5 gone by here in the second half.
Best resale value brand, 2020 lowest 5-year cost to own brand, and most trusted brand for 6 consecutive years.
And Parker Brown in traffic picks up the rebound. Pinson right by Boston.
Almost Sexton as well.
Yeah. Petty deep into the paint, left hand, that misses, so Petty off.
Open looks. They got to get him some open looks. You got to screen for him, get him some open looks. He has a chance the ball's going to go in.
Petty did that.
Containing the 3 ball. Got to really contest the 3 shot. Make him tough ones, not easy ones.
Herb Jones, the defense by Mintz, as he stood up primo.
They're challenging him right now. They're staying. They went right by him, though.
2, instead. Starts it back with Askew. 45 on the game, 19 on the shot.
Toppin's a valuable guy in Kentucky's entire team defense. I mean, there's 2 things in transition you have to do. You have to know and stop the ball, and you have to tag with a fit.
Air out there, or they will light you up for 3.
They're going to spread the court out. They spread that court out, want to beat you one-on-one. They turned it around now. And some good recruits they've brought in.
Shackelford, boy, they got a nice play down there, and it's up and
68-50.
Quiet start for Lewis scoring the basketball, but he tries a 17-footer.
Well, from the perimeter, they can't fall in love with that jump shot. Oh, great defense by Boston.
Down to 7 to shoot. Here's Lewis. Steps into one.
Like that.
He's got a good shooting touch. That was a half-2 moment by Jackson. Calipari comes with a full-court press after the made basket.
Brentwood looking to get off the schneid. Rames with a gorgeous move. Put it up and drew the foul. Counting the ball. Final 8 seconds of the quarter. Moore raising up and he's blocked brilliantly. There was
good at defending. And a big-time deflection and steal to beat St. Vincent St. Mary.
Shot clock. Pierce had it stripped away by Boston.
It's those long arms of Boston. Gives people fits.
Pierce kicked it out of bounds and Turner.
Drop it in the basket.
Meshack, who's improved his outside game this year. Pierce in the lane, scores. Cameron Pierce.
And I'm sorry, I missed the third referee. That's
Bernard
Robinson. Thank you, Randy.
There's Pierce. Tough fall-away shot into Kentucky.
You cannot, you've got to fight through that pick, that high screen, and we're going to get a carry. This Canyon's transition game will absolutely kill you.
DJ Boston back in for James. Pierce in the lane, offline. Pierce. Ooh, reverse try. The 1-point lead.
15 on the shot clock.
This is Pierce operating.
Good, he's going to be injured much of last year, but he's got all the skills.
Strong drive by James Nobles, and he.
Smith back on the floor, Mississippi State. We get a moving screen. We did. They're going to call that on Quentin Post. Involved in that play. Instead, it was Ware, and as a result of the hustle from Ware, ball goes out of bounds. It's Kentucky's.
Is Allen who's in the game and ties it up. Also into the game, Trey Hannibal for South Carolina.
And he's accepting responsibility, watching tape, self-evaluation, and it's really helped his game. Askew had it.
Were hunting shots. Now they all look like the game is just flowing to them. They're not in a hurry to take a shot.
Just its last 5 shots. Bailey on a cross. Foul called. Kentucky leads the next.
8 rebounds and 8 assists. Not quite the same type of game tonight as he's 0 for 8 from the field.
But his demeanor, his body.
And knows what to do with it. That's just, he's too strong for Dylan Dessou.
Well, and Kentucky's doing an excellent job.
They have been too fast on that trip.
Auburn has lost 18 straight at Rupp. Trying to end that streak.
Good
Inside,
luck.
all alone. Have split the last 10 meetings. We mentioned the big one, 2019 NCAA tournament overtime win for Auburn in the Elite Eight.
Who can get better and better because they all have played pretty well this season.
Auburn, a self-imposed postseason ban, so they will not be a part of the SEC tournament or the NCAA.
And teach them. He and John Calipari have a history as well, which ended very favorably. Ended really on a positive note relative to how it started, Jimmy. The way Calipari's had this thing rolling, they never lost 6 of 7.
No, this is all new for him. Everyone in that Kentucky program.
Hey, you know why Fulkerson's going to be really missed here if he doesn't get back on the floor? He had 27 against Kentucky last year. They were down 17 a minute.
He wants to be a financial advisor one of these days when basketball's over for him. But he 12 and white, is a 10 out of 10 in terms of a team. Don't let him go right.
Javonte Smart. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
15 seconds left in the shot clock. About a 12-second difference between the shot and game. Stolen away. Here's B.J. Boston.
In scoring, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. And then when you turn it over also, it puts so much pressure on the defensive end. Devin Askew comes out a year early.
Yeah.
And he's handed the reins of Kentucky basketball. And that would be so difficult. That can do so many things on both ends of the floor. Now you bring the freshman along, Davon Smith, who's an explosive player, who's going to have some ups and downs because he is a.
This is for the next Think pass first. Get everybody involved. I think it's a nice clean look here.
It's him up. 9 to shoot. Davis around the screen for Brooks. He screens again, creating Leaky Black.
Just watch Kentucky. If they get spread out and stretched out, this game is going to be over.
Mississippi State this year gave up 66 points.
That's just a simple pin right there. That's not even a ball screen. Where it just gets pinned on the high side, and it's an easy over the top.
Schuler just dribbled himself into a turnover, and it's
back come the Gators. Bring it into the front court with a 1-point lead.
Better attack that time by Kentucky. Do you or knock you down a peg at this time of year?
Trey Mann wisely picked up that loose ball as Appleby was worried about a double dribble.
Cats get back defensively. Here's Bailey for Tennessee. Wraparound feed. Fulkerson the catch. Bank in and out.
Obviously with Kentucky too, but if they can continue getting scores and build on the confidence.
Cooper lost it underneath. Breaks the 8.5 points per game. They put up 75 today and lead by 4. Deep one, Flanagan.
Escobe picked up his dribble. Needs some help. And Josiah Jordan-James bailed him out. Victor Bailey. You can see based on those numbers, anything that Kentucky gets from behind the arc is almost gravy. Keon Johnson, ACC selection for Wake Forest. And here he is again through a triple team. Stripped away by Vescovi.
Swaggerful basketball team from Tuscaloosa.
lane was open, perhaps some steps, but
for all these young men who haven't really been able to enjoy normal college life. Desmond Stegman Coliseum. Wheeler. It's hard to take a charge against your teammate. Tough shot. Georgia looks like they're going to play for the final shot. Wheeler with 5. Wheeler all the way. Rejected out of bounds with 3.
Award for Auburn. Gravy, at the first media timeout, we had 16 total rebounds in the first 4 minutes. So we are on a 4-rebound pop and had a great break. In basketball, Mitch was really good with it on his play. Avoided the travel, kept the ball alive.
I guess it's seen a little bit different Olivier Sarr in the second half than we've seen for much of the season. Points in the paint.
Played the NCAA tournament a couple times. There's a foul on Boston. Here's Wright on Boston. Nice spin move. Wow. Beautiful move and one.
Physical, strong. Because of COVID, because of tracing, all those things, it has been tough on a lot of ball clubs, especially younger. 2 straight possessions, shot clock winding down.
And a steal. Leading the way. 2 seconds. Three on the wing, knocked.
Box to box. Always, this is the game I think they have to do. Drive the ball to get decent mid-range that they're unaccustomed to do. A very difficult task.
Second chance for the Heels. This has been a sprint. Offensive rebounding and then Black. Right.
Is Allen, who's in the game and ties it up. Also into the game, Trey Hannibal for South Carolina. Is able to get it to go. Keon Brooks joins the point party.
If Kentucky has any shot of
Schuler just dribbled himself into a turnover and
trying to go to work again. Draws a double team. Gets it to DeRougie. Now inside Castleton. They try to feed him.
In the last few games. Good hands from behind there by Boston to trigger that defense.
Johnson, he's accepting responsibility, watching tape, self-evaluation, and it's really helped his game. Askew had it. Kentucky opens up the second half 0 of 5 from the field. They have gotten to the free throw line, and a steal there from BJ.
How do you lose him, right? I mean, you know, on the top of the scout, he's on fire outside the three-point line.
Another turnover. That's a half a...
But I think Dawn Staley's team is too balanced, and, you know, I think Kentucky...
Basketball.
Good battle under the glass, and Sarr stepped on the end line.
Nice. Here's Sarr putting it down low. He gets it stripped by Cambridge, who got a piece. Nice interception there by Boston.
Sure. John Calipari never said that he was the only one going through this. He said everybody's dealing with it, but it's difficult. You feel for these college kids.
They tried to toss it into
recovery, so that's not a great defensive play, and that's a great athletic play to get back in the play because he was beaten outside on the cut to the basket.
Lance Ware, first swing. Auburn needs a bucket, and it's not going to come there from Williams. Offensive rebound for Franklin. Giveaway.
Nice look. Obviously with Kentucky too, but if they can continue getting scores and build on the confidence.
Cooper lost it underneath.
Feel like a close game all of a sudden. They miss it, but the battle won. And a turnover. Bad pass as Stays got tough.
I'll tell you, they can't coach the same way. And Coach Cal, I'm sure, is trying to build some confidence right here with his young team.
Leaning back at times to get it off. I think he's now 1 out of 12 from the three-point line. That's not his game.
So what would you say to Cooper? How would you coach Cooper when it comes to shooting? Both teams season low as far as points go. Kentucky's winning the bench battle. They outscored them 18.
Named to the Julius Erving Award watch list for the best small forward in college basketball. Now a steal by Boston.
Well, from the perimeter, they can't fall in love with that jump shot. Oh, great defense by Boston.
30 seconds to go as Kentucky and Boston on the floor.
15 seconds left in the shot clock. About a 12-second difference between the shot and game. Stolen away. Here's B.J. Boston.
2 straight possessions, shot clock winding down.
And a steal. Leading the way.
Stewart, left-handed, loves to go left, and he's aggressive when he attacks the rim.
Many of us thought when he came here that he was the answer for them down in that post, and it has not been there.
No, didn't score 0 for 10 in that loss to Richmond. And there's a steal. Easy. Tough shot for Boston, partially blocked by Leschewski. And a battle underneath. Men's talented Creighton team had ankle injuries last year.
Even for patience, that's a shot that I'm surprised. They got to.
Well, you're a fake lead.